Hi, I'm Ohashi Takayuki, the owner of the apartment. It's a shop that mainly selects and introduces clothing from the East Coast of the United States, especially New York, focusing on items with various cultural backgrounds, presenting them along with those cultural contexts. So there's this brand called Ralph Lauren that's loved by all sorts of people, not just in New York, but all over the world. And, well, Ralph Lauren's headquarters, their flagship store in New York, is nicknamed The Mansion. So thinking of a smaller scale version of that, a really small, tiny version, you might say, I decided to name my shop The Apartment. I had been working independently, getting jobs from various places and managing them myself. Then, one time when I was drinking with a high school friend, we thought, let's try doing something ourselves. We had various ideas, but starting a clothing store was something we could do immediately, so we went ahead with that. Originally, when I was a teenager, I started living alone in an area within biking distance of Kichijoji. I often went to Kichijoji to buy records, look for clothes and sneakers, just hanging out like that. I really liked the atmosphere of the town, so I decided to start my shop here. I wanted to recreate the vibe of the good old New York. You know, those mom-and-pop independent shops. So I designed everything, the store's shape, the interior, everything to match that atmosphere. The key points in our selection are clothes worn in daily life, even in New York, items people wear every day. Also, instead of pieces that are only trendy for one season, like some fashion brands where you can wear it this year but not next, we choose clothes you can wear now, next year, even 10 years from now. Moreover, we select clothes anyone can wear, from teenagers to those in their 50s and 60s. Basically, clothes suitable for everyone. The rappers here in Japan are often friends from when I used to hang out, and things tend to spread from connections like that. As for visitors from overseas, I think they probably see us on social media or hear from their connections abroad saying things like, that shop is interesting, and that's likely how they end up coming to visit. All right, so this is the exterior of the apartment. The overall design and imagery are inspired by New York's good old bodegas. You know, everyone calls them bodegas, which are like grocery stores or food shops. Things like these signs are actually put up in stores over there, and, well, I received them from people I became friends with at those shops. And you see, if you ask a sign maker to create signs, they end up looking too neat and perfect, so I hand-painted all the signs myself. I even cut these vinyl letters by hand. Everything is completely handmade. All right then, next I'll introduce the interior. So I'll explain the interior. The interior also draws inspiration from New York. These fixtures here, they came from a shop on 8th Avenue in New York that's now gone. When the store I used to visit for buying was closing down, they gave them to me. And this wall system called slat wall, it's gradually becoming less common even in New York nowadays. But over there, clothing stores, especially the older, long-established ones, all used to utilize this system. We decided to bring that exact system over here to recreate the same image. Additionally, the long, narrow shape of the store that's also designed with New York clothing shops in mind. We wanted to capture the essence of stores in New York, so I've personally handmade all these shelves and fixtures myself. The people in the photos displayed on the decks hanging on this wall are, well, these graffiti writers. And the photographer who took these pictures also recently passed away. The graffiti writers depicted here are members of a New York crew called Iraq. Actually, we carry clothing from Iraq in our store as well, so these are the very people behind that brand. Well, over here on the upper part, we also have photos displayed of the members of Iraq. Also, when you think of New York, basketball is really popular. So we have basketballs that evoke that New York vibe displayed here. Everything here is decorated with items related to New York. When people from New York come, even members of Iraq visit, they look at this corner and say, this is really interesting. The photos displayed here are ones I took myself when I went shopping over there, developed and displayed like this. They're photos that New York enthusiasts recognize and enjoy, saying, that's that store. So this is a brand that we're really pushing hard called the Almeida Club. It's Well, a brand based at Rockaway Beach in Queens, New York. That's the beach area near JFK Airport. We're currently heavily promoting this brand. The brand is run by members who are part of quite big, really well-known brands that anyone would recognize if you heard their names. These people have come together, working to uplift their local hood, doing their thing. And, well, I think it's the coolest brand in New York. These t-shirts around here are ones we sourced directly from New York, ranging from souvenir tees to original t-shirts from various stores. We bring them back ourselves and display them here for our customers to enjoy. This one here is from a diner called B&H Dairy. It's a diner in the East Village that I really like. It's a spot where locals gather, and in my interactions with New Yorkers, I've met many who say, "I've been going there since I was a kid." It has an atmosphere like a scene from a movie, a really wonderful place. A brand we've recently started carrying and highly recommend is this brand called Nation Fishing Company. It's also a New York brand. The birthplace of American fly fishing is in a place called the Catskills in New York, and it's there that brothers started this brand. They offer fishing-themed apparel. Well, it's apparel, but they also produce rods, like this fly cases and so on. They're quite a serious brand. This reel here is my personal item, but they sell rods like this one, pack rods and such. It's a genuine, fly fishing themed apparel brand, and I think it's really great, so I highly recommend it. Recently, we've started carrying Montbel. These items here are from Montbel, a domestic Japanese brand. Among Montbel's products, I select items that I've personally used in the field and found extremely practical. We've carefully chosen only recommended items, like these shoes made with Gore-Tex. They seem to get a really great response from customers visiting from overseas. Also, Bass Pro Shops. I think they're quite popular even in vintage markets. But, well, we source them new. You see, Bass Pro Shops are located quite a drive away from New York, so unless you drive a fair distance, you can't purchase from them. So we drive around to various places by car, picking up items like these caps around here, and also their original shell jackets. I think these are really interesting items. This area features some of our top recommendations. These are items we highly recommend. Recently, what we've been promoting and what's become popular are these flame-resistant series jeans from Wrangler. They're from Wrangler's US line. Since they're flame-resistant, meaning they're made of non-flammable material, it's safe even when you're around a campfire while camping. Also, the fading is really unique, reminiscent of old denim. It develops naturally and looks great. The fit is also excellent. Also, we sometimes do special orders with New Balance, so from their inline collection, we carefully select our top recommendations and display them on this wall. Also, when it comes to shoes, we make sure to always select classics like Timberland in this area. They're staples after all, so we absolutely include them in our selection. We also source items like these Carhartt gloves from over there. They're durable and long-lasting. I've been using these myself, riding my bicycle with them. They're one of our top recommended items for longevity. The products in this corner are Montbel's Super Merino wool underwear. I think these are items you don't often see selected by import shops. Winters in New York during buying trips are extremely cold, sometimes so cold that even wearing a down jacket doesn't help. Wearing merino wool underwear during those times made me realize how great they are, so I wanted to share that with our customers. That's why we select these merino wool underwear from Montbel. Also, the items around here are socks that I'm really passionate about. After trying on and testing various socks during buying trips, I felt a strong desire to create even better socks. So these are socks we made in collaboration with a Japanese brand. Well, personally, I actually think these are the best right now. These items around here are figures, specifically figures of hip-hop rappers. They're released by a brand called Super 7. Among the people I first became friends with over there, there's someone from Boston, and he introduced me to this brand, which led me to start carrying it. The craftsmanship is excellent, and for those who love hip-hop, I highly recommend displaying them in your room just as they are, still in the blister pack. So these are quite popular items in this section. Regarding the interior, I wanted to pack in various elements of New York clothing stores and really capture that essence. For example, this counter is noticeably higher than those in typical clothing stores. This is something characteristic of stores over there. In certain neighborhoods, especially in the hoods, counters are often built higher, perhaps to prevent robberies. So I constructed this counter myself to recreate that atmosphere. Additionally, I'm a big fan of the tile art found in New York subway stations and wanted to bring that unique feel to the store. This tile work ended up being the most challenging part of the design. I carefully laid each tile by hand, creating an art piece featuring our logo, a sewing machine. It's become a popular spot, with many people stopping to take photos here. We really recommend it as a highlight. When I started the shop, my dream was to create a place where my friends and people from the neighborhood would keep coming, a spot they'd always feel comfortable visiting. That was the vision I had from the beginning, and in a way, just by achieving that, my dream has already come true. So, with that dream realized, our vision now is to continue this journey for as long as we live, keeping the store open and thriving as a welcoming space.